Hello, everybody. Business 630. Today is Friday, May 5th, and this is our weekend update video for week 5 of corporate finance and our topic. And we're finishing out our capital budget risk analysis this week by you preparing case number 2 on the spreadsheet provided for you. Is due Sunday, May 7th. I will be available all weekend. If you need any guidance or questions, please feel free to send me a text, email, or if you require a Zoom session, please give me a little advance notice and we can do that. This is all leading into our week 6 lectures and analysis on financial statement analysis. Once we have invested in capital, invested in assets, and beginning to get the cash flow and the return that we desired or not desired from that investment, then we have to review the financials. How is our company doing? What type of profit or cash flow is that generating for our business, and how does that influence our ability to get further capital and strategic decision making or critical thinking in our company? And that's chapters 3 and 12, financial statement analysis and financial forecasting. That's our topic for week 6, and that'll be in our lecture video on Monday. Also today, I have, on this Friday, May 5th, I have posted our case assessment paper, and I'll explain to you how all this fits into our class. That paper and that work is now posted to Blackboard. It is due Sunday, May 28th, and it represents 25% of your course grade. So a very important paper. It's a combination APA format paper and a spreadsheet analysis, very similar to what you're doing in case number 2. So let's take a look at where we are in our Blackboard on this Friday, May 5th. Okay, so here we are with our Blackboard and a couple of new additions to it. As you can now see, there's a Business 630 assessment case file folder with all the Electrics Incorporated, which is the name of the case, now posted to Blackboard. And we'll take a look at that in just a minute. But how does this case fit in with our other coursework? We'll go to the course information file folder and note the important dates for our class. And notice we have already submitted case number 1. That grade has been posted to Blackboard. This week, you're doing case number 2, which is a spreadsheet format. Case number 1 was an APA format. Then you'll have case number 3, which will be posted on May 15th, and that is a PowerPoint format of a financial statement analysis of the company that you selected and did your work on in case number 1. And we'll talk more about that later. That's case number 3, and that's in a couple of weeks. But now you have the course assessment case paper now posted, which is a additional case, but it's a course assessment. In other words, as part of our accreditation, to be a viable college of business and be able to provide education to our students and our MBA students, we have to pass an accreditation. Part of that accreditation is being able to show that we properly assess corporate finance to our students and that they take this 8-week class and they're properly taught the world of corporate finance and strategic planning. The course assessment case paper is that accredited document that you all do as part of the accreditation process of this MBA program. We take this course assessment case paper and show it to our accreditation committee that you, our students, are properly going through the procedures of passing a corporate finance class. It's an assessment paper. So it's very important to maintain the credibility of our program, but also what you need to know going farther into your studies or into your professional career with an MBA degree. So case number 1, we've completed. Case number 2, you're completing this week. Case number 3, posted on May 15th, due May 21st, and the course assessment case paper is posted now, today, May 5th, due May 28th. The reason for that is it's, as you can see, and if you download that casework and take a look at it, it's quite intensive. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of questions to answer. It's taking case number 2 and adding a paper to explain your analysis to that. So we'll talk more about that later. But that's where we stand now. So all the cases are, you can understand. The only one you haven't seen yet is case number 3. But as we move forward into the next couple of weeks, you'll see that as well. Any questions about that, please sure to let me know during our student hours on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. And then we'll go to now the case assessment file folder. You now see this file folder for the Electrics Incorporated. That's the name of the company you're doing the work on. That's the Electrics Incorporated. You'll now be doing that work so you can download. There's 2 formats for the analysis, a PDF and a Word doc, fairly similar to case number 2, but a little bit, as you'll see, more involved in detail. And then the actual assessment rubric that explains to you how I'll be grading the work. Now you are to set up your own spreadsheet. That's why we do case number 2, so you can practice this. You need to set up your own spreadsheet for this case. And we'll have a special review session to go over this case on Saturday, May 20th. And then also every week going forward, week 6, 7, and 8, we will have segments of our lecture videos talking about and reviewing the electrics case. So plenty of time to do this work, plenty of time to review it, come up with questions. This is why you take an MBA degree, to do a strategic analysis of a company trying to make a decision about a product line, doing a capital budget analysis, and then interpreting and writing about that analysis and interpreting what you did to do that analysis. So this is a very important segment of your MBA study in corporate finance. I would urge you all to download the PDF or the Word doc file and just read the document, read what is involved in this case. And then as we go forward, you'll be ready when I start bringing it up in our lecture videos about what you need to do to prepare and finish this case. Do not wait until the weekend of May 27th to do this case. Do not wait until that weekend. This case will require a minimum of 10 to 12 hours of analysis of work to complete it. So be sure to include this in your time management going forward over the next few weeks. But I'll be here to guide you, to lecture you, to help you with this during the course of the next few weeks. Now remember, you are to complete case number 2 this week, which is the spreadsheet file that I have provided. We've gone over all the segments of that case in our lecture videos over week 4 and earlier this week in week 5. We've learned how to compute and calculate the WACC. We've learned how to put together the base analysis of taking variables of various financial parts or segments of a strategic capital budget decision-making process, the cost of the asset, salvage value, depreciation, estimated units sold every year, the selling price, variable cost rate, fixed cost rate, inflation rates, project WACC, we just talked about the tax rate and the working capital, putting all those together to determine the net cash flow of a particular investment, and then the 4 different investment return analysis. The investment return in dollars, the NPV analysis, the investment return in a percent, the internal rate of return analysis, the investment return in profit ratio, profitability index, and the return in time, the payback in years. You are all practicing that in this case number 2. This is the work that we reviewed to prepare you for this case. And then finally, once we have that base case, what if certain scenarios and numbers change that might adjust the net present value or the return of the case? The scenario analysis takes the probability of certain levels of unit sales every year and adjusts the NPV to that to come up with a weighted probability of all those 3 different scenarios. The sensitivity analysis takes key key variables of your analysis, in this case, selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, and fixed costs, and changes them, changes or reduces or increases them by unit, by variable, and how that affects the net present value return by changing those specific variables. And then we chart them to show the sensitivity or the steepness of the slope, which shows the greater change, where if the slope is flatter, it's a less of a change. And here's that change indicated in the range of that analysis. You are to do this all in case number 2. Again, I will be around this weekend if you need any help, but now this is the end of our capital budget analysis. We are going forward with the electrics case, which will continue you to work on this capital budget analysis. But now after this week, we will continue also on to other topics, which is financial statement analysis, strategic investing or capital investing, and other ways of acquiring capital by merging acquisitions. And we'll go forward on into the class. So again, as we now begin and finish up at the beginning of our second half of our course, if you need any help, need any direction, need any guidance, please feel free to call on me and we'll get you back up to speed. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday in week 6 and financial statement analysis and financial forecasting. But make sure you post case number 2 this week. If you do need an extension, just let me know, and that will be available to you. Until then, adios.